Sci-fi 19 is a independently written 10-part series, which originally started off as a web series, and we're building it off our own back, trying to get our own funding for it, and it's set in the future in the year 2022, 6 years after a comet's hit planet Earth and sunk it into darkness, and we have the humans who are basically trying to defend themselves, and they travel from safe flight to safe flight, which are basically your highway diners. They're all barricaded, protected, and know where you go between 160 to 200 miles between each one, so you get safe flight 10, 12, 13 and so on. And at night time, when it's totally dark, you have ferals who are cannibalistic hunters who are able to manipulate their lenses to have full black irises so they can actually see at dark, so they have the advantage for hunting over you. So your safe flight to the areas where you feel protected, and at safe flight 19 the ferals around the area become intelligent enough to actually take it on and fight for it.
Right, so you can see this on the web.
It's going to be made this year. We are aiming to get onto the internet by the end of the year, but we have had a hint of interest from Sci-Fi UK to possibly release it on the channel itself.
I play the role of Frank James. Frank is a civilian who's looking for his wife and child. Rumour has it that they're dead, but I won't accept that. And in between then I take out my rage on these ferals.
So you're a feral?
I am, yeah. My character's called Teeth, and I'm sort of the second in command of this big army of ferals. And I was once human, but I got cast out into the darkness, and so basically I'm reaping my revenge on these guys for doing that to me. So it's all about revenge.
So is this like a horror series? Is it?
It's a sci-fi kind of drama with a lot of emotion in it because of what could possibly happen. It's playing on a lot of people's fears of the end of the world, but it's not really. What it is we've just lost sunlight for a hell of a lot longer than we thought we would. And William D. Walsh, who's the guy who's written this series, he's taken it from a short film to a feature, and we crammed so much into the feature film that we've had to split it up in these 10 episodes, which is why I'm really happy that we're directing it and making it this way, because it gives people more of a following and more of a storyline to play with.
It's about two guys who own and run a comic shop in Edinburgh, and they basically have like debt problems. I think they might lose their shop, and then miraculously they have this comic, Election Man, issue 1, 1937, appears in the shop, and it could solve all their debt issues. But unfortunately, they're not the only ones who realise it's there. There's villainous people who are after it as well, and so they want to try and return to the rightful owner, but hopefully get a particular reward which will solve their debt problems in the end as well. So that's in a nutshell.
So you're both starring in the movie, so what parts do you play?
I play Victoria. I play this guy here, Toby, who's Jazz. Obviously you can explain that in a little bit. His sidekick is Wolf, and I play Wolf's ex-girlfriend, who comes into town, sort of wanting them to change their ways. Ignore comics, go over to the more serious side of things. So yeah, that's me.
I play Jazz, Jason Archer, who owns the comic shop, loves comics, real comic enthusiast, and is really wanting his business to work. He's the one who realises how important and expensive and rare that Election Man is, and then puts the plan into place to try and get this reward.
So do you like comics yourself?
I do quite like comics. Yeah, I mean basically I sort of got brought up with it more with my brother. My brother's 3 years older than me, and so when they used to sort of have to go into town, and I'd sort of tail along with him. He'd go to these comic shops, and I'd basically have a look around and sort of pick up things from him. He was a great fan of Batman. I prefer like the comic book films that come out. I really love stuff like Iron Man, Spider-Man. Spider-Man 3 wasn't so good in my opinion, but I liked the first one, and obviously the Batman series, so especially the Tim Burton ones, and also the Christopher Nolan ones. I think they're great. So I prefer the sort of the film side of comics, and I get the other side comics from my brother. So.
X-Men, every time. That's all. I'm not a huge comic fan. I mean, I like them, don't get me wrong, but I'm not an expert by any means. But X-Men, I always loved.
That's really Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, absolutely ripped.
So do you have a date when the film's coming out?
Well, yeah, we're heavy in post-production, and so hopefully film finished in about a month, and then we're pushing really hard to get into the Edinburgh Film Festival because the guys got nominated for a BAFTA Scotland New Talent Award for the screenplay, which is really great, really exciting. So fingers crossed, being in an Edinburgh film, Edinburgh company, Edinburgh, hopefully we'll get into the Edinburgh Film Festival and see where it goes from there.